Yeah. What up? What up? It's Big Twins, aka the grimy one. Y'all know the Mobb Deep infamous clique. Yo, check it out, man. I want y'all to tap in to Cigar Talk Toronto, man. You know, they be putting it in, interviews and this and that. So check them out. Cigar Talk Toronto from Big Twin, y'all. You already know.
All right, we are back. Another episode of Cigar Talk Toronto on the block 105. And if you want the video version of this, you can head over to our YouTube at Cigar Talk_Toronto and check out the video and extended versions of all these episodes there. And shout out to everybody on the block family for tuning in. And we got a great one today for you because we got a man that is fucking tearing up the hip hop charts right now, and that is Lefty Pachino. What's going on, Lefty?
What's going on, brother? What's going on? We finally get to face, right?
I know we've been talking about it for a minute, and I wanted to save it for when we made the switch to the block and made sure that we both had our Mafias ready, because that's what we're going to be smoking tonight, the Croatian Mafia cigars.
That's right. Shout out to Todd.
Shout out to
Yes,
Todd.
sir.
Mafia Cigars. You can get your own at Croatian Mafia Cigars on Instagram. You can send them a message and go to www.croatianmafia-cigars.com. You can order anything you want from his website direct. So make sure you hit him up. I even got the Mafia bourbon glass right here.
Oh, that's sweet. You know, I got a little care package. I got my cutters. He ended up sending me a couple of lighters, sending me a nice little package. So, yeah, click me right on in.
Yeah, Todd's a real good dude, man. He definitely hooks
Todd.
He knows what he's doing. So you say you're smoking the Boss right now, right?
Yeah, I'm inhaling the Boss. Yeah, I actually tried the Valentinos last night, and that was crazy vibe off that. Yeah, the chocolates. I think he just came out with those not too long ago. So, yeah, really smooth. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
He was up here in Toronto three weeks ago. We did an episode here, and he just came out with those Valentinas then. They weren't even out yet. I tried some of the chocolate and the vanilla, and I'm not really an infused guy, but
Right.
I found like the blend was perfect. It wasn't too overpowering. You could still kind of taste it's a cigar.
I found the same thing. I like it, the separation of the sweetness and the tobacco. Yeah, so it was decent. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So, what do you think about the Mafias now that you're smoking them?
Smooth, not overbearing. Really, really good taste, man. I love it. I love the pull, and you can always tell that the wrapping of the cigar, by the pull. So not too tight, just tight enough, So I'm enjoying it.
How long have you been smoking cigars for?
Oh God. Man, probably since I was 12. I grew up with my uncles. So, and my uncles are a huge cigar fan. So, yeah, probably since I was a young lad, and then once I got older and I was able to, get my own thing going, it kind of stuck. So, it's been a minute, man.
You think cigars and hip hop go hand in hand?
I think cigars and hip hop go hand in hand without disrespecting the cigar. I think it's a generational thing. You know what I'm saying? As far as hip hop, I think it's a certain cloth that knows how to enjoy a cigar. If that sounds right.
Yeah. It's I get it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people will do it just to be cool. And then you got the people that actually enjoy smoking cigars. And I'm a person that enjoys smoking cigars. That just happens to do hip hop. So it just meshed all together right on time.
Yeah, I don't understand how people could do it just to kind of, be cool because fuck, they're expensive. It's inexpensive just to
Exactly.
fit in fucking hobby,
Yeah. Even the cheap ones are here, you're still paying about $10. So that's a fact.
And if you're
That
sitting
is a
up on a
fact.
patio right now, I'm jealous of that. We don't get lounges and patios and shit like that up here, so it's
Yeah.
all underground shit for us when we want to smoke inside.
Yeah. I get it. It's beautiful. And on a day like this, it brings out the cigar community. But like I said, it's about 70, so it's not super hot, but it's my
Yeah.
type of weather. I like being in between. So beautiful out here for me.
What's the wind like? Is it windy or is it calm?
Calm,
Okay,
calm. Now, when that temperature dropped yesterday, it was pretty windy, but today, just a mild. It's probably about 71 right now. Just a beautiful day, man.
nice. I've tried to smoke a cigar outside on a windy day before, and fuck, you sit there and you kind of put your cigar to rest and you look at it and the wind is just smoking the cigar for you.
Eating it up, eating it
Hmm.
up. But nah, man, it's nice, nice, beautiful day, man. Nice, beautiful day. I'm glad we picked today.
Hey, everything happens for a reason, man. Everything falls into place a certain way and the way it's supposed to fall in place. So, we're here along the ride of fate.
That's a fact. It was when we ran into each other, man. It was just meant to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking for that extra thing to be a part of. And then
Yeah.
when I met you, it just brought it to life. I said, oh, now I can put the two together.
Oh, I definitely man, I appreciate all your support and your collaborations, shouting out Cigar Talk Toronto and one of your last tracks you released, Cigar Talk, which is actually the theme song for Cigar Talk Toronto podcast. So
Oh man,
again, man, much love to you and Mikey G, man. You guys have been great supporters since I've come across you guys. Um, and it's a genuine support that is unconditional. And I appreciate it, man. It means a lot to
and
me.
it's
So
it's reciprocated. I just seen, I said he smokes cigars and he's a hip hop head, and it just made me want to, like I said, fuse the two. And you were the perfect person to do that with, you know. So the ping ponging back and forth, we made it pay off. And the record was specifically made, for you. And why not have Mikey G on it? You know what I mean? Because that's how we all came into the circle, right?
yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
actually
man.
how I ended up on the block was because of Mikey G. I started, doing some little videos, smoking cigar to his shows, and I came across his show on the block, and I was tagging the block, and then that's how I ended up here. So it's really this relationship and me being on the block is a result of Mikey G. So huge shout out to Mikey G.
Yeah,
Check him out on
yeah, my
Instagram.
brother, man. Uh, from day one, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And just a guy that works his ass off and loves hip hop music and is from the deep part of the cloth where he can accept and appreciate, different kinds of music. Because I am a little different than the New York cats, but my music, it gravitates up that way. I do most of the shows in Queens. I had a show in Queensbridge last year, so
oh,
with
okay.
him catching on, and yeah, he appreciated the type of music that I do, and we just been on the train ride the whole time, brother.
But you,
Yeah,
you see your music, you say it's a little different, but you don't sound like Southern hip hop.
right, right. And so when people say that, because they do call Virginia, but I'm only 5 hours from New York. I'm about 10 hours from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that builds for a variety of music here, but it's only a handful of people here that do, the type of rhyming I do that I broke in New York. You know what I mean? So my family is from New York. So I always had that background anyway, and I always listened to New York music. So it was gonna
Okay.
happen like that regardless. Yeah.
So before we get to into your music for a second, let's take a little rewind and think you were telling me you've only been into hip hop for a few years.
About three
So
years, man.
number one, you're doing incredible for 3 years into it, and so salute to that. And so what was life like for you pre-hip hop, and what was the deciding factor to say, you know what, I'm gonna pursue this hip hop game and see where that leads me?
Right. Good question. So, you know, I was in the streets most of my life, right? And so once I got older, I was the guy that was taking the young guys to the studio in the neighborhood. That was me trying to find them something else to do. Okay. Because before this, I was actually a boxer, right? So I got finished with that. I had an altercation. I'm just going to fast forward up until 23 when I came in this thing. Um, had an altercation that left me unable to walk, right?
Yeah,
And the rapping for me was on my bucket list. We all make that list. We say we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. But that was one of the things that I told myself. I said, I'm going to get on the radio station before I leave here, just to prove to myself. So long story long, jumped in the studio June 2023 after my little incident, after I got myself back able to walk, and went in, man. And 3 months later, man, I was on Shade 45, like just like that.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and we went in and recorded. And at first, I wasn't writing bars. I was just rhyming, 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 rhyming. And then I started learning how to do the bars. And 3 months later, I was on a mixtape in France. Shout out to Vince Vega. And then I ended up being on multiple underground radio stations. And this was only about 3 months after I started rapping. So I
Okay.
said, yeah. So I always took it as a hobby. I never took it as trying to chase down a deal or nothing like that. Because it's for me, it's a therapy thing. I can take my old stories and bring
Yeah,
them to real life. If I don't bring them to the present, nobody's going to listen. You know what I mean? It's like your
yeah.
uncle telling you stories all day long. So yeah, long story long, that altercation is what clicked in my brain and said, "Hey man, go tell some stories." And that's pretty much what I did. And 3 years later, super crazy. You know,
Talk about perfect timing too. 3 months, you're getting airplay on Shady 45, which is it's a huge channel. That's no joke.
yeah,
So, that's talking about, fate, perfect timing. And again, everything happens for a reason. So your incident that you had was meant to happen at that moment in time to put you in the position you're in now, to now getting three
right.
months later, you're on Shady 45, and that just exploded you up.
Yeah, man. And I thought it was something special. And you know, that right there just gave me enough confidence and courage to just keep having fun with it because I still say to this day, I'm just having fun. You know what I mean? I'm having fun, meeting a bunch of people. Um, it's something positive, you know what I mean? And it's just a good feeling, to be heard all over the world. I mean, everywhere. It just for telling a couple old school stories, but just adding that modern flavor to it, right?
Yeah, yeah. I listen, like like some people listen to music, but then some people like listen to music, right? And I listen
Uh,
to your lyrics, and what was the last track you came out with? You talk about, the bills are paid, the rent's paid. It's like I
uh,
it's it's
um,
it's going from like your old school ways to your new life and your new found venture. and how life has changed for you. And if you listen to your lyrics, you can hear the transition from your street life to where you are now, family man, pursuing your music career, having fun with life, and just, being blessed.
I'm glad you picked up on that. That's Shadow of Death, and that was a
That's right.
record that Vega sent me. Yeah, Vega sent me that beat about a year ago, and I couldn't find a female. And I'm sitting in the studio and it's snowing, and this lady comes in, and I said, hey y'all. I said, you ever sing on a rap record? She said, no, you know who you're talking to? I said, no, ma'am. She said, I'm Al Green's my mama's brother. I'm Al Green's niece. I said, well, look, I got this record. I said, I just had a chant. I said, you mind going in the booth and just, she went in the booth and it was one take and that's what she did. So with that being said, I had to make the best use out of that I could at the time. And so what
Yeah.
better thing to do than just bring it to life, with the full circle type of thing. So people understand, this what happened. This is what it is now. And it's crazy because Vince Vega made a video to that beat. I mean, to that particular record, and he sent
Yeah.
it to me, and he hit it on the head, man. And that's why I like working with him because I didn't call him or nothing. Everything that's in that video is what he listened to on that track,
Yeah.
and he understood it, such as himself, so good that he was able to throw a video together with it, and I thought it was incredible. It's crazy.
There's certain people that when you connect with them that they just you can see your vision and your energy, and they know how to translate that into a beat or into a video version. And that's a rare thing to come across. Somebody that without even because you were telling me that his English is not even that great.
That's
So
a
to be able
fact.
to translate, what you guys are doing together and just to make it fit perfectly, that's aura right there, man. That's energy that can't be duplicated and replaced.
Exactly, and that's pretty much him with all his beats. I mean, we found the right chemistry, and then I don't believe it or not, he just sends the pack 12, 13 beats at a time. I don't listen to them. I don't say this is what I want. He just sends them. And it's when I listen, I'm like, it just starts to hit your soul right away. And everything just pops in my brain. And I say, oh, some good chemistry there, man. So shout out to him, man.
Yeah, he's make sure you guys check him out on Instagram at Vince Vega
Yep.
and
Yep.
give him a follow, man. He's a great dude. I've heard some stories about him, and you can't find better than him in the game, man. So
Nah, man. Nah,
make
nah. He
make
just
sure you
he saw that potential.
Yeah, and you know what it is? It's seeing potential, but it's also again, I go back to energies. People's frequencies draw them to each other, right? And I always say that even though, we live in the modern day world where everything is social media and on the internet, those energies still translate
Mm,
through. You can still tell somebody's got bad intentions even through, the internet.
that's a fact.
And I
That's a
think
fact.
what the way I see things happening right now is you're getting a lot of people that are just starting off, within the past 5 years to current day, and it's a new era being born.
Right. Right. Yeah, I like the way you put that. I like the way you put it. And the biggest thing for me is that it's our generation, and we kind of found something that we could all get some peace out of, doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's not ever too late. People say, man, yeah, you're old. I'm like, nah, man, I just got better. I just picked the right time to come in.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I picked the right time to come in after I set myself down, thought about everything I did, and figured out how to put it on paper and bring it through the microphone. So it's all timing, like you said.
Touching off what you just said there, people saying, yeah, you're older. I got a curious question for you. And it's something that I hear a lot. You know, you see a lot of these older rock bands, you know, Rolling Stones, Metallica, this and that, you know, they're doing live shows into their 60s, 70s. And I see a lot of people in the hip hop world, you know, when you hit a certain age, they tell you, oh, you know, just hang it up and whatever, whatever. Why do you think that the hip hop world doesn't get that support all the way into their later years as, say, rock music, country music, or whatever the genre would be?
I think it's a couple of things. I think one, so we know the pioneers in this business. Most of them are still doing the records that they had when they first came out, the ones that made them a success, right?
Mm,
But then you got people like Ty Nitty. You got people like Ty Nitty that was there and still making dope ass music
yep.
right now in real time. So, I think that the age thing with rock and roll, I believe that it's more accepted because in rap music, you're a fossil. Once the new breed comes in and start changing the music around, is what they changed it around. It's drill, and now a record is only 2 minutes, and then you might get famous off TikTok with one record. You know what I mean? So, you know, as far as my generation, it's really unheard of for our generation to just jump in, you know, once we get close to 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
Because, we got grandkids and kids, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a mindset thing, man. I think if people are, and I'm here to prove it, man, because nobody knows how old I am until I tell them, right? And so that's always been um my my icing on the cake, so to say. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I want you to hear it first. Then once you hear it, then when I tell you what cloth I came from, okay, now I understand it. So I just think it's this, something that's just not accepted. Because like I said, the peers, they kind of got they already got their famous records. You know what I mean? So, and they were hungry, right? When they first
Yeah.
came out. I'm hungry today. That's the difference. You know what I mean? I'm hungry right now. So I'm going to make my best right now. And that's just the way it works. But being accepted as far as being old heads and things of that nature, I think we're going to put an end to that. And that's my goal. My goal is to put an end to that. You know what I mean? I
I
want
see
to put
that
that to bed.
cycle, yeah. I see that cycle coming to an end. And you know what I think I think that so the generation after us, they were not taught what the way we were taught. They were not raised the way we were raised. So they were not taught to respect those that came before them. So they don't appreciate those that came before them the way that, the golden era appreciated, the 80s.
Right, right. Because even though we all hip hop heads, we was always watching MTV, Bruce Springsteen,
Mhm.
um, just Cyndi Lauper. You know what I'm saying? We grew up on Nirvana and things like that. So we always had that, and then we had Public Enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And LL Cool J. We had that too. But we listened to everything. We didn't just listen to just rap music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had a whole genre of things that was being tossed at us, a lot of flavorful shit that we could listen to. So I'm just happy that I was a part of it.
And touching on Ty Nitty, man, we got to give a shout out to Ty Nitty. He's been a crazy supporter of Cigar Talk Toronto from day one. And I got the official Queensbridge t-shirt on. I got the Make Hip Hop Great Again hat from Love and Loyalty, which is Ty Nitty's brand. So make sure you head over to www.loveandloyaltystore.com. You can get your official Queensbridge gear there. And make sure to give him a follow on Instagram at TyNitty_IM3. And speaking of Make Hip Hop Great Again, that's where people like you come in because we have the boom bap era, golden era, they're keeping it great, but we still need new artists coming out to make that statement again that, hip hop isn't what it's been the past, say, 10 years, where it's,
That's
the
right.
same sound, the same beat, the same lyrics. It's all chasing that like you say, the overnight TikTok fame.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's important. So I think, I think we're here to let them know, that it's not an age cap. You know what I mean? You can still be hungry, at a certain age. It doesn't stop. And we're gonna cross it. We're gonna get the bridge. We're gonna get it crossed. We're gonna cross the bridge, so to say, and we're gonna wake people up. Because I do it. You know what I mean? I do it. I come out. I come out. I probably drop a record a week. You know what I mean? And everything I drop, thank God, it's somebody's gonna pick it up. Whether it's Mikey G, Young Amsterdam, somebody's gonna pick it up and play it. And I just appreciate the fact that we still can get on a playlist with a Method Man and a
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes and people of that nature. That's real impressive at this age.
So you, again, coming out with a record every week, I think that's important because it keeps you in the cycle. Because we all know the entertainment world, if you're not constantly putting out material, that's it. They've moved on now. And it's day by day and week by week at the max. So
Hmm.
how hard is it? Because I'm curious, like to sit down and write some lyrics and really um, fall into the beat with your lyrics. How hard is it to come up with something new every week? Because essentially every track is another story to tell. So take us through the process of, do you hear the beat first and then you write? Do you write and then wait to hear a beat that you feel fits that? When you start a track to the finish of it, how do you like carry it through and make it flow as one story?
Man, I like you're smart. You're a smart man. I think you're one of the smartest guys I've ever met. Anyway, but the second thing you said, so I write bars, right? I write bars and I write bars and I write bars. I write 16 out of 16. I won't put a hook until I hit a
Yeah.
beat. Then
Okay.
after I hit a beat, yeah, because it doesn't matter what beat it is. I can still tell the same story on that beat. It's all about how I can fit a hook into that 16 that's going to
Okay.
make the track come together. So yeah, and then sometimes I'll get a pack and I'll listen to a beat and then I'll write to it on the spot. But me, my phone is filled because, like I said, I'm taking my old stories and I'm bringing them into real time. So I have a lot going on up here that I can put down. Even if I feature with somebody, I just piggyback off them. So if
Okay.
somebody send me 16, I just piggyback. I just hop in where they came in. It's, hey, look, brother, most of the time I've been so blessed that I'm gonna use Biggs. Hey, yo, Biggs. You familiar with Biggs?
I was just talking to him
Biggs is
today.
Biggs is my That's my mentor. So, and I ain't scared to say it. I ain't too hardcore to say that. When I first came in, that's one of the guys that gave me confidence because he heard me and he is ill. And he said something to me I'll never forget. He said, "Man, that joint fire is a record that I made. It's like my second record." But I'm saying that because people like him, he just put me on a record, okay? And he gave me full reign. He said, "Lefty, I'm sending you a beat, man. Do something with it." And I did it. Now, I'm like, shit, that's big, Biggs fuck with Onyx. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
like, he's a superstar already. And then when I sent it to him, he sent me the message back, all flames. I said, I hit it on the head because he's seasoned. He's been doing this thing for a long time. And from me to get the okay for him, so it's a blessing. And then, like I said, if I do a feature, I just pick, most of the time I piggyback, because I hopped on a remix with Benny the Butcher and Method Man. You can pull it up. It's
Oh, shit. Okay.
Warriors 2 remix. Yeah, the Warriors 2 remix. Some last person record. And they put out something on SoundCloud, and I got picked to be able to hop on that record. And I did the last eight, I believe eight bars or something on the end, and really stood out, brother. So that was awesome too. So yeah, my process is, it may be a little off for some people, but it works for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always
Oh,
prepared when that beat comes.
and that goes back to It's funny because you know, I've had conversations with people, and you look at the past 10 years in hip hop, and it's like everybody sounds the same. Everybody's, you know, beat is essentially the same. Everybody's bars are the same. And, you know, I found myself saying, man, what happened to hip hop where when you heard a beat, you already knew who was coming based on that beat. Everybody's voice was very distinct. Everybody's flow was distinct. You know exactly who you were listening to, essentially from the first 10 seconds of hearing a track start. And that goes back to being an artist. And I really like where, you know, people like yourself are starting to get into the hip hop game and you're bringing back that artistry again.
Yeah, I think it's important. And like you said, I wanna have my own lane, so to say, and maybe not just my own lane, but I want to be set aside because I kind of mine's just kind of flow melodically with the record. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
guys they kind of like know how to talk and you know what I mean, but I kind of try to hop in between. You know, I just want to be in my own lane. I want to stand out. I want to be different. You know what I'm saying? That it just so happened that I was blessed with a voice that can be a little bit different, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
still be able to get my point across. Yeah,
Not too many people got a voice like yours in hip hop, man. I mean, you think about that deep, rugged, raspy voice. I mean, you got Big Twins, yourself, you know, DMX, rest in peace. He had that deep voice, but not too many. Like when you hear Lefty, you know it's Lefty.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's so when I'm in the booth, I have to really project. You know what I'm saying? I have to really push it, and it just that's where the energy comes from. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a blessing. Yeah, it's a blessing. I used to hate my voice. Yeah, I used to hate it, and now I'm seeing why I sound like this. I'm understanding it now. So
It was meant to be that way. What's uh what's been the hardest transition for you going from the street life to, and you know, I don't want to get into like drama stories and shit like that because that's not what we're about. We're about the positivity and you know, recreating yourself and being successful. But what's been the hardest transition, you know, going from the street life to you know, rebranding yourself as a human being in the hip hop world?
I think it was hard when I think I had to tear myself away from old friends that I didn't they wasn't on the same path as me. You know, because how many times you got to go to jail? How many times you got to get shot
Yeah.
before you understand you're still here for a reason? And then my kids, you know, I got a 7-year old and a 9-year old, and I have a daughter in college. So it's like, you know, I have things that I need. I have responsibilities now, and so I'm still in this. I still hang out. You know what I mean? I just hang out in the house when I go to my old stomping grounds. I'm not standing outside on the corner. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah, yeah.
in the house with my brother. Yeah, we might hit a bar. Yeah, I don't really do clubs unless I got a show. So the transition for me, especially after my altercation, that really woke me up and said, okay, your reflexes aren't the same. Your peripheral is not the same. These kids play a different game now. You can make up your mind if you want to go sit in jail the rest of your life, or you want to raise your kids. I want to raise my kids. So, you know, I picked the safe route. And yeah, the music I do is harsh, but like I said, um, if anybody thinks that I'm out here running around doing the same thing that that I was doing, those you're not listening to the record. You know what I mean? Because if you
Uh-huh.
listen to the record, you will see that I past tense a lot of things in the record. You know
Yeah.
that because you
Yeah.
you got that ear.
It's
Yeah,
I wouldn't even say you picked the safe route. You picked the man route. You know, it
I
takes a real,
appreciate that.
you know, it takes a real man to step up and take responsibility, number one, for your actions, and two, take responsibility for your kids and your wife, and say, you know what, I gotta lead by example and this is not the example that you want them to be set. Because at the end of the day, if you set that street life example, there's only two ways out of that. It's jail or death, period.
You said it.
Nobody's like when you look at it, you look at the history, nobody has made it out alive. Period.
No. Or rich.
Nope. You might live a fast, high life for a little while, and then that's it, man. You look at the Al Capones and the Escobars and the Guzmans, like they didn't make it out alive. They didn't make it out
No.
rich.
No. No. That's a fact. And if I feel like you're slapping God if you're still here after all of that and you still want to take your ass out there and try to run around with the youngins, you got a problem. Like I said, I still hang out, I still be in the neighborhood, but I got a different respect in the neighborhood, so I don't have to be, if we go out, I'm the guy that's in the back sitting around really quiet. I really don't talk much. And only thing on my mind is making it home to my family. So, and another thing, when I do shows, I'm by myself. I don't have four or five. I don't have 4, 5, or 20 guys. When I went to Queensbridge and did my show last year, that was me and my older brother. You know what I mean? So if sometimes a lot of traffic, it brings bad karma
Yeah.
because I can't babysit everybody in that group. I can only babysit myself and my brother. So I enjoy being by myself. You know what I mean? It shows people a level of, okay, number one, you know, he's a grown man. He's not coming here for nothing but the business, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's what it is. It's a business.
Right,
You have to structure yourself as a businessman. Your business is hip hop, but you're still a businessman.
right.
And no
That's a
business, no businessman is out there fucking with the streets. Period.
nah, man. Nah, man. It's not. What's cool to me now is picking my kids up from school. That's cool to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool to me. My son seeing me at home, just being dad, and keeping calm, and that's cool to me.
Well,
So
we're all blessed that you found a new way of life. Your kids are blessed. We're blessed with good music, and I know
appreciate
you're
that.
setting a good example for them, and they got something to look up to and be proud of when they look at their father.
That's a fact, man. That's two of my best fans. My father just passed last year. That was my biggest fan, man. You know what I mean? And he did get to see a little bit of the journey before he left. And he told me, he said, I'm proud of what you're doing. And we didn't have like the closest relationship, but you get close to people after a while. And
Yeah.
he said, I'm proud of you. And he said, keep going, man. He said, just keep going. And that right there alone was enough for me to just understand that, you know, you got responsibilities. You got people to make proud of you. And that was my biggest fan. I don't want to get all fucked up about it, but man, that thing just pushed me, man. And I just been going.
Well, as a son, that's all you ever look for from your father is to say, "I'm proud of you." That one simple term right there, "I'm proud of you." Keep going. That's enough to light a fire under you and make you feel like you're a god on earth.
Man, that's a fact, man.
And sorry to hear that you lost your father, and rest in peace to him. And I know you're still making him proud. I know he's up there watching down on you, and he's seeing what you're
Oh
doing,
yeah.
and you're becoming successful. And he's sitting up there cheering along for you. So
Hey man, you better believe it, brother. You better believe it. And I believe that. And like I said, man, at least I got the chance to chop it up with him. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
yeah.
and he was proud. And that was a good way to end things.
Our all of our stories end at some point in time, and there's no perfect timing to the ending. But like you said, at least you got to experience this new ride with him for a little bit, and you know, as a father, I know he's proud. So
Oh yeah, yeah. The minute he stopped calling me David, started calling me Lefty, I said, I
yeah.
said I got the stamp right. That was a stamp of approval right there. Yeah. But yeah, that was
So
cool though. You know what I mean?
so so what's been the biggest surprise about the hip hop industry for you that say you thought it was going to be a challenge and it was just like, damn, this is not what I thought it was. This is a lot easier than I thought it was. Like, what would be that one aspect to music in the hip hop world?
I would say just getting on the radio alone is tough. you have you had to have some good music. That Mikey G is not playing just anybody. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to the catalog that he plays, and I know you listen because I met you
Yeah.
through him, and you know that if Mikey G or Young Amsterdam played my records, or Glibs out in Alabama, or just anybody, all my brothers that play me, just that feeling alone, knowing that in these different states and countries that somebody likes your music and you're in Virginia and Norfolk, man, it's a high that I can't even explain. Just hearing myself on the radio is just, my kids are running the room and I'll turn it down. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not exposing my kids to that. But because you always got one of those kids that want to be like you, and it's my
Yeah.
daughter for some reason. But I, just getting on the radio, man, for me, man, I'm thankful. And like I said, that's not an easy thing to do. Is sometimes I'm off 5 or 6 playlists a week. You know what I mean? And that's not an easy thing to do. Coming in the game this late, I feel like that's a huge accomplishment, man. That somebody can feel that music like that.
Um, Looking at the music industry, when you got into hip hop, what were some of your MC inspirations behind you getting into hip hop in terms of when you started rapping? Who did you look at and
So
go, okay, yeah, that one and that one, they inspire me to be like them?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I really don't listen to that much rap music. Now, I'll say before coming up, I did, but I didn't want to be a rapper coming up. I wanted to box. You know what I'm saying? So all my heroes were boxers because I'm from the same gym as Sweet Pea Whitaker.
Okay.
Okay, I came from we had the same coach, but I would say me getting my feet in this right now. Um, I'm kind of stuck on the underground people, man. Black Silk, Biggs, like I'm too old to be fanned out. You know what I mean? I was fanned
Yeah,
out when I was young. And so let's go back to that. And we'll say that the people that I did listen to was Mobb Deep. I gravitated to Gangstar. Um, I gravitated to people like Cool G Rap. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, Pete Rock, CL Smooth. So, like back then, I would say, yeah, big fans of Capone and Noriega, people like that. But as far as now, that I really don't have an influence because, like I said, I'm coming in at such a late age. I can only appreciate the people that are on my level. You know what I'm saying? I
Yep.
appreciate the pioneers and what they did, but I'm all about everybody under the underground right now because we got some dope people underground, man. And they're going to be the ones to try to jumpstart this old 67 Chevrolet. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's coming. I see it
Yep.
coming.
Yep.
Um, so you say you don't listen to too much hip hop. What is in your playlist currently?
Um, I like jazz, Miles Davis. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I listen to a lot of Mozart. I listen to a lot of classical music, and um, my wife always has it on the gospel station. So I try to take myself out of Lefty. when I don't have to be left, if
Yeah.
that makes sense to you. Yeah, I'm not walking around hip hop, you know what I mean? I guess you could say I'm at this age, I'm kind of like needing things in my head that can keep me in a good space for my kids.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then I'm gonna put it to you like this, and I know this is going, you're gonna resonate with this. It's nothing nobody that's rapping can say that's gonna amaze me because I did all of that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So I amaze me. You know what I mean? I amaze myself. And like I said, I like the underground cats, and I just feel like that the music needs, you know, I just wish it was more of people my age trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I am seeing a whole lot of guys popping out, but to each his own. That's just how I feel about it.
Um, I did this with Big Twins and I did it with Ty Nitty and OGLs. I fucked up with the Ty Nitty and OGL ones because I was too drunk, but I that's why I didn't go with the Henny tonight because I was like, no, I'll drink the whole bottle again. Um, if you were to put up a Rushmore of MCs, being four people on your Mount Rushmore, who would you have in your Mount Rushmore of MCs?
You said I got four, right?
You got four.
Uh, I'm definitely got to put my man Biggs up there. I gotta have Ayo Biggs up there. You know, I have to, because his stories we're kind of similar in the things that we talk about and how we bring it to light. Now let's jump into some well-known people. I'll probably say definitely got to be Rakim.
Okay.
I gotta, I you gotta have a Rakim up there. You gotta have a Busta Rhymes because you have to have some versatility on there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you gotta have Tribe Called Quest because you gotta have some type of conscious rap going on that's got ill beats behind it, and you know what I mean.
Now hold on.
And
Tribe Called Quest, we're gonna get into groups.
oh, you want single?
Just single MC.
Okay, okay. So we'll say Rakim, Busta Rhymes. I gotta have DMX. I gotta have DMX because the DMX always prayed after the show, and I thought that was just something that never ever been done before.
Yeah.
All right, and then hmm, I don't know. That's a hard one. I think my last one. I think my last one. I don't know, man. It's an underrated guy, man. But I think I'm gonna go with like an underdog for my last one, and I think I'm gonna say Ice Cube.
No,
You
Ice
know what I'm
Cube's
saying?
dope. Yeah, yeah.
I think just Ice Cube itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Cube because Cube also told a lot of stories and taught a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
And yeah, when the beef came, he knew how to cook it. On a
Yeah.
record. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I even Ice Cube, I don't think he would be underrated or an underdog in that sense. No, Ice Cube's a dope MC. I'm gonna tell you my Mount Rushmore right there. I'm gonna go Cool G Rap, Prodigy, Illa G, and Nas.
oh, Nas is nice. Prodigy was that young to be saying the things that he was saying.
Yep. I think
Yeah,
Prodigy's
I believe it.
Prodigy's lyrics still go over people's heads to today.
I believed him. You know what I mean? Because I was in that life. So I believe he was one of the people that I used to listen to back then that I really,
I still don't
yeah,
even think he's appreciated to what he should be to today.
I think he was more appreciated when he left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they had a lot of, they still got a lot of fans. You know what I mean? And I don't give a damn who you was back then. You was riding around listening to that tape they had, that first tape they had, um,
The infamous.
that first Mobb Deep tape.
Yep.
Crazy. That shit should be in a vault somewhere.
All right, let's go into groups now. Your Mount Rushmore of groups.
Mm. I did say Tribe. I roll with
Yep.
Tribe still. Um, can we say Mobb Deep as a group? Because I like Havoc. You know what I'm saying? I like Havoc. I like the
We're
way
gonna
Havoc rhymes.
we're gonna go into Mobb Deep as a duo. I got 4 categories
Okay.
here for you.
Oh
So
shit.
so
Okay. All right.
so just to kind of give you a heads up, we got MCs just straight solo, groups, duos, and producers.
Oh, that's okay. So, all right. So we got. Let's see. I'm gonna say Lost Boys. I like Lost Boys. They underrated.
Hmm.
Um, because I like the grimy. You know. Um, Beastie Boys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going
I
out on a
think
limb,
they're underrated and underappreciated.
man. License to Ill.
Yep.
Come on, man. I'm gonna say them. I'm gonna say definitely gonna say Run DMC because they really they put the drive on everything. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So that's my four right there. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
that's my
go.
four.
I'm gonna go Infamous Mob, NWA, um, groups, Wu-Tang, and I'm gonna go with one that might surprise you, but for me as a child growing up, they were big in my childhood. Naughty by Nature.
Oh man, that's a good four. That's a solid four. That's a solid four because you can't
Yeah,
get everybody on the list.
you
Yeah,
can. And
yeah, it's a
I
solid
think
four.
not again, Naughty by Nature. I think they're underrated and underappreciated.
Yeah, but then again, back when they came out in our era, it was a big deal. You know what I'm
It
saying?
was. They were
Yeah.
big back in the early 90s.
Yeah. The shirts, the baseball bat. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a big deal.
Okay, let's go into duos.
Hmm. I gotta say Mob Deep now. That's
Hmm.
my number one. All right, because that's who I rode around listening to. Capone and Noriega. I rode around listening to them. Um, can we say Snoop and Dr. Dre as a duo?
If
I'm, the, I'm rating the Chronic album now. Waiting
yeah,
them on
yeah,
a Chronic album.
yeah,
Because you got to remember now, I'm naming things that I rode around listening to that was in my playlist.
yep.
Um, man,
It's a hard one. The duos is a hard one.
because you got to think of the duos. You know, if you was a duo or you wasn't really sticking out like that,
Mhm.
man. I don't know, man. I can't think of nobody else. Um, because every time somebody pops in my head, they got a third man with them, and I'm like, that ain't a duo.
All right, so we'll take a pause on that for a
Uh,
second. I'm gonna throw in a
yeah,
couple.
I'm gonna have to marinate on that. I'm
I'm
gonna have
gonna
to
go
marinate on that.
Mob Deep. I'm gonna go Gangstar. Um, Capone Noriega. And I've never successfully finished my Mount Rushmore of duos yet, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I'm stuck on those three.
I know, man, because and I'm quite sure if you were to sit down and start writing, everybody would pop in your brain. But
Yeah.
for me, I just those are the only ones that I can remember riding around listening to. Yeah.
All right,
So we'll come back to that on a later date.
Your Mount Rushmore of producers, and then at the end of that, who's one producer that you would love to do some work with that you haven't done some work with yet?
Mount Rushmore producers. Alchemist,
Mm.
Alchemist, Havoc. Um, I would say Dr. Dre, man, because he definitely could get you to that level.
Yep.
And my last one, um, who produced DMX? Was it Swiss Beats or was it Dane Grease?
Swiss Beats did a lot of production for X.
I think it was Dane Grease. Whoever produced DMX, what they were ill. There's an ill producer, man. So I will say Swiss Beats because he did do most of DMX's smash hits. So I
Okay.
would like to work with him.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with you on
It's
the
just I'm
first
picking.
Alchemist and Havoc. Definitely fucking Havoc is
Mhm.
underrated. I'm gonna go Q-Tip because going back to the Infamous album, back in those days, Q-Tip he was on another level. And I'm gonna go
I heard
Primo.
he produced a lot. Oh man, Primo. See, I really would have to dig in and see what he did other than Gangstar. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah.
I said, I wasn't deep into it like that. So, but I'm trying to think of that guy out of Buffalo too, man. I'm going off course, but I can't remember it. No, not Buffalo. What's the guy that did Cypress Hill's music?
Oh,
DJ
yeah, yeah.
Muggs.
Yeah, Mugs.
Yeah, if I had to pick a five, definitely would want to get in with him and Soul Assassins. Yeah, they got some dope stuff out right now.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah,
fuck, this hour just fucking flew by, man. And we're gonna keep it moving for YouTube, but in terms of the block, we're about to sign off on the block. And up next, you got DJ Mikey G with Hip Hop Classics Takeover. So make sure you keep tuned in on the block to celebrate your Saturday night with DJ Mikey G. And we got our theme song Cigar Talk by yourself, Lefty Pachino, and DJ Mikey G. And
let's
they're going to
go.
take us out of here
Let's
with that
go.
track.
Let's go.
All right, so now I can stop the timer. And those Mount Rushmores are hard, eh?
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Hell
I like
yeah, man.
I like the questions when you get that real time, like you got to sit there and really think about it, like shit,
You have to, because, like I said, I have to go all the way back. You know what I'm saying? I have to go back. I had to go back about 20 years, you know? So, but yeah, it's a good thing to get your Rolodex going in your brain. I'll tell you that. Hmm.
What I got a question for you. Based on today's ways of operation with social media and being an independent artist, if you were to be Lefty Pacino in the 90s, what do you think you would have to do differently then to get to the point you're at now compared to today?
Uh, I would have to have a rap. I'm sorry. I would have to have a van wrapped in my logo.
Yeah.
I would have to have a billion posters. I would have to have a team of people with me, and we would have to go from city to city to city, passing out posters, jumping out the van with a microphone, riding around through the city with my music blasting, because we didn't have the technology to be able to do what we do now. You know what I mean? We can just put it right in your face. So yeah, well, would have had to been more work, man. That's why I said everything happens for a reason, because I don't think I would have had the drive to do that back then. I was too busy doing other shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's and I don't like the term easier because it's still hard work. But do you think, it's relatively easier to be an independent artist today as opposed to back then where, back in the 90s, 80s, even early 2000s, it was all about getting that major record deal. And now we live in the era where you could be an overnight success just from social media. So do you think it's an easier route today to be an independent artist?
I think it's harder.
Yeah,
I think it's harder. I think it's harder because back then I could get in your face, right? I
yeah,
could bring you a package right to your front door. Now I could just, you got to make room for all the TikTokers, man. You know what I mean? And then you got to have a dance behind your record now. If you don't have nobody dancing, making up a dance to your record, man, you might not, you ain't going to get shown no love, man. And it's our generation. We grown. You know what I mean? It's a new
yeah,
generation, man. And our generation, we just picking up bits and pieces where we can. You know what I mean? And we hanging on by a thread, and we just trying to keep a little motion going. But the youngins, they finding out all these loopholes, and streaming and all of that. And I think it's harder. It's harder right now to be able to. You just got to be tough, and you got to say to yourself, you know, I got to make this happen myself. You know what I mean? Because it's no more record label. They kind of diminishing because
yeah.
everybody's now you're able to put your own stuff on Apple and Spotify, right?
Yeah, and it's the way I look at it too is, like you said, everybody's putting their own music on Spotify, YouTube, creating their websites. Illa just came out with Psychedelic Contraband, for example. You can only download it from his website. So it's really taking yourself and creating your own brand and running with it as opposed to relying on someone else to market you, advertise, set up your tours. Essentially, you were never really your own boss, even though it was your own name and brand.
Right. But the good thing about it is you can keep all your money now, right? You don't
Yep.
need like I said, I'm by myself. So you don't really need a whole lot of middlemen. You just need somebody that's good at marketing and somebody that's good at using the internet. If you got those two things, then you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But I think that like I said, with TikTok and things of that nature, man, you could put up one video and become an overnight success. Now, will it last? I don't know. Hopefully it will for you. But that one thing that got you hot, now you got to stick to that one thing because nobody's gonna want to see nothing else from
Yep. It's
you.
it's a blessing and a curse because, the overnight success, in my opinion, is like you said, you get that overnight success off that one record. Where do you go from there?
Exactly.
Right?
You
And
got
to
to keep that
maintain,
momentum.
we live in the era of the attention span is like 30 seconds.
Right.
So, you got that overnight success. How do you maintain it?
And the records went for 4 minutes because now I'm sending out records and people like, hey, cut back to 3 minutes.
Yep.
They don't. So now you don't have a lot of room to play a lot of music in between it. You just got to get right to the point, and it's got to be dope, and it's got to be able to reach somebody. And you got about 240 to 3 minutes to do that now. Nobody wants to play a 4 minute record.
And that's what
Attention, like you said, attention span.
I was just gonna ask you about that. Is there a fine line, and you just pretty much said it, between when you're laying out a track, you want to stick between this time frame and this time frame because once again, the short attention span. Do you ever find yourself having to cut, like, so you lay out a track, right? And let's say it goes 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Do you now listen to it and go, you know what, I gotta cut that back a little bit just to meet today's criteria of the shorter record?
And not anymore because now even the beat makers, they know. So when Vegas sends me something, it's always about 320 or something like that. Even the
Yeah.
beat makers have started cutting back the time on the beats. So now I came in at a good time because I was forced to learn how to get everything inside of those minutes. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
4 minute thing, I made there 1 or 2 records like that, and then it jumped right into the 3 minute thing. So I was fortunate enough to come in when the beat makers started making these 3 minute beats, and now I understand how to format it. So, and I like it. You know what I mean? I like the shorter record myself. Keeps people's attention, like you said. There ain't no attention spans no more, brother. They gone. So
Even
it's all visual.
it is even if you look at, my YouTube channel, all the views are from shorts, 30 seconds to a minute.
Mhm.
There- There's like 220,000 views on my YouTube channel right now, and probably 215,000 of it is shorts.
Yeah, you got a lot of competition, brother. People scrolling. If you don't
That's
catch them,
it.
if you don't catch them in 2 seconds.
And the hard thing that I've noticed is number one, cigar content doesn't get pushed in the algorithm. And I noticed this on TikTok, hip hop doesn't even get pushed on the algorithm
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
because TikTok is very, very, very restrictive
Right,
in terms of what you can say and what you can put on there. You can't even say the word gun.
right.
I got restricted for saying the word Hitler.
Oh shit!
Yo.
Wow,
And it wasn't even I made a reference to a comment about somebody talking about Hitler, and I got restricted for it. So
wow.
they're very restrictive. That's why I don't put much effort into TikTok. Um,
That's some sensitive shit right there.
yeah, we live in a sensitive world right now.
Yeah, I think TikTok. I post some things on there. I'm not super focused on TikTok. I think I got maybe 2,500 on, but I got about 11,000 on Instagram. So it's like I focus on Instagram because it's more a bigger, wider variety of audience. I think TikTok is mainly people eating food.
Hmm.
Foodies and you know fighting. I don't want to see that shit. So, but you're right. Things like cigars, and I'm surprised my music's still up there because some of that shit is not edited, and I say some graphic things. But like I said, I don't have that many people following me anyway, so it's not
Yeah.
even probably in the algorithm like that. Yeah.
It, it you know what the problem is that we live in an era of drama.
Hmm.
And this is what I want to ask you about. I seen somebody make a what's it on Instagram? You put the little bubble in your thought of your notes, and somebody was saying hip hop beef is just it's played out. It's not what it used to be. Do you think, you go back to the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, that hip hop beef was more organic and part of the game as opposed to created for clicks and views today?
I think it's always been. I think it's always been a way of promotion. That's what I think. Unless we know the ones that really did it, right? They in
Yeah,
jail or they dead. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Either you're gonna do something or you're not. All of that extra talking and typing on and you know what I mean? Like, nah, man. I think if you really had beef back then in hip hop, I think it would have been like some Tupac and Biggie thing. You know what I'm saying? That you really gonna get dealt with. If it's beef, and they backstage fighting and things of that nature. That's what they used to do. That was real beef. You know what I'm saying? But I think it went hand in hand when you got a bunch of personalities from different places in one building,
yeah,
and everybody wants to be heard, and everybody wants to be that tough guy. So if back then, if you're that tough guy, when I see you, I got to make sure that right? Now they're just typing on the phone and putting comments in. It's a waste of time, man. It's a waste of time.
I like what you said earlier about when you do your shows, it's you solo, and a lot of times it's the entourage that really gets you into the drama that you didn't even know you had.
Yeah, yeah. Or the rapper, it's tough when he got a whole lot of guys around him,
Yeah.
right?
Do you think
I'm
that
tough
just
by
go?
myself.
You,
I don't,
you think that just goes hand in hand with hip hop, the whole something to prove tough guy thing, or is that really an organic thing that just kind of happens between two crews and there's a way to, like yourself, tell your stories, your street stories without being that tough guy.
what you just said it's always the people around you that make people surround you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So if you're by yourself and let's say I walk in a venue which they got 20 and it's me and my brother. I speak to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how y'all doing? You know, and you will be surprised that I don't get the negative feedback because I'm here to do music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I already got what was coming to me in the streets a few years ago. So I'm here to do music. So I'm not even staring at you or looking at you no other way except you're here to do music. Because if you wasn't here to do music, you would be back in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Doing whatever it is you do out there. So when I walk in somewhere, it's automatic respect. And I want you to respect me too. You know what I mean? Because words never did nothing. Words never moved me, and they still don't. You know what I'm saying? I carry myself as I don't bother you, don't bother me. Because if you bother me, I just don't have a lot to say. And I need to get home to my kids. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to
Yeah.
fuck with a guy that wants to get home to his kids.
No, that's a
So
whole that's a whole different level of fierceness.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I think every
that's why I always say, in this modern day, collaborations are king because the
yeah,
more you can collaborate with people, and it might not even be in the hip hop world, like, like yourself and myself, look at how many people from us, connecting from your world have come over to connect with me, and even from the cigar world to come and connect with you, right? And that's something that I feel very strongly about is, we're all people. We all have, different stories and different upbringings, but we're all relatable in some way. So the more you can collaborate with people from different areas in life, the more people can understand you and the more you're going to have a loyal growth and fan base.
that's a fact. That's a fact. And we all trying to get to a common goal, and that's to be a better person because we have to. One day we got to go. You know what I mean? And I don't think that beefing and arguing is the way to go right now. I just don't. And that, like I said, music for me is just music. You know what I mean? That's all it is for me, man. It's I love doing the music. I love telling the stories. You know what I'm saying? All the extra. If I got to get known by doing all of that, I will never be known because it's just not my cup of tea, man. I've been through too much in life to get this far to let one or two people just make me toss all of that in the drain, and it won't happen. You know,
Well,
I'll
that
remove
that's
myself.
yeah, that's the thing. It's time wasted, it's energy wasted, and all that work you've put in, just like that, it's gone overnight. For what?
Yeah, my son needs me, man, and it my kids need me, and rap music won't take me away from my kids. You know what I'm saying? If I
Yeah.
can help it, So I'll just remove myself if I feel that bad energy in the room. I've been to shows where the energy felt crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just gave the guy the money back and said, "Man, I'm out of here, man." I think it was Pennsylvania or something. And my brother said, "I said, bro, I ain't feeling this, man. It's too much. It's too many locals in here, and you know, just the energy wasn't good." And I said, "All money is not good money."
Mm, yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there, man. It's
Yeah,
there's a time to know when, you know what, I'm out. Peace.
this day and
Like,
age. Yeah,
yeah, you know,
yeah,
you gotta live another day for your kids, and you know, it's as simple as, you know yourself as a boxer, right? You could get into an altercation, and you know, just for example, you're defending yourself. You drop somebody that cracked their head on the concrete, dead. Now you're fucked.
yeah. I believe that um you will get further if you just mind your own business and try to be friends, you know, try to be cool with people. I don't understand why in 2026 it's so played out. Like why, you know what I mean? Like I guess you would have to be in my situation. So when I came out of a store, I got caught in the middle of a crossfire, right? And I got, you know what I'm saying? And it woke me up because the first thing I said to myself was, it don't even have to be about you,
No.
and you can get it.
Yep. It happened a lot here in this city, man. Fucking little kids get caught in the crossfire because, you know, there used to be rules. You know, you don't take it to the kids, you don't take it to, you know, the family's house. And now
Right,
there's no rules. It's just anything goes. People will get you at the
brother.
funeral.
Brother, hey, I was coming out of the convenience store and it sounded like the 4th of July. So I'm saying that to say that, like you said, there are no rules, nobody cares, nobody cares who's outside. And the best thing for you to do is get what you got to get and go to your safe place and thank God for the next day.
So for you, hip hop has been a very good blessing, we could say.
Being a part of it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Being a part of it and not growing up listening to the lyrics and feeling like I had to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think it works for me because I never was one to listen to those lyrics and feel like I had to do what somebody else was, you know, that what somebody thought was cool.
Yeah.
So I think for me right now, I just like making the music. I'm noticing that I'm getting a little more into the part where I started becoming uh, not so street like. I'm starting to get those memories in my head where it's coming to um, I can still be hard, but I can also not be as graphic as I was in the beginning. Because in the beginning, I just took all of those records off the shelf, and I'm about 50 in after those records. Because my first set of records, even the play from Shade 45, it was coming from a dark place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it made for good music, but it doesn't sit well with me. You know what I mean?
But
So,
you know, coming from a dark place, that's your story.
right,
And you're
right.
taking your story and you're putting it into an art form.
There you go.
And
There you go.
you know, to people that look at hip hop like, oh, it's violent, it's this and this and this. That's your story.
Right,
And
right.
you
And
can't water down and filter your story.
nah, it's violent when you make it violent.
Yeah.
I'm living proof, man. It's violent when you make it violent. You know what I mean? It's violent when I be talking a lot of trash on the records, but I grew up around my uncles. That's all they did. And they still went and had beer after the fight, right?
Yep.
Everybody woke up the next day. But then my generation came along and we were running around doing, I don't even want to talk about it, you know? And I'm sitting right here talking to you and survived all of that. I would be a fool just because I like telling some stories to resort myself backwards in life, you know?
Well, just it goes to show that it's never too late to reinvent yourself, find a new path, and walk down a new life, and you know, become something. Like for example, you're gonna leave a story, a history for the next generation and the next generation through your music, right? And something that I forget what it was. I was doing the scrolling thing, short attention span, and I came across a video and they were talking about, for example, do you know your great grandparents' stories?
Right,
It's like shit. I don't know anything about my great grandparents, and I'm sure a lot of people the same way. They don't know shit about them, right? So how do you leave your mark in this world where your name will live on to the next generation and next generation, next generation? And reinventing yourself now going down the hip hop world, you are gonna leave that mark in history.
right. But I don't want it, I wanted to say, you know, my dad was a musician. I don't want it to say my dad was this hardcore gangster rapper dude.
Yeah.
I just, that's why I want the music to develop and grow because, you know what I mean? I wanted to be something, I wanted to be the art, if that sounds right, and not just the picture, you know, just I wanted to be the whole setup. And that's real important to me that I say, because like I said, my kids are not allowed to listen to nothing that I make. I don't let them, especially my son, because boys are easily influenced and their father is
Yeah.
the biggest hero. So I have to make sure I might let them listen to a beat and that's it. And so when people say, I was on a show and they said, you're not teaching the young kids nothing. You're coming over here. And I said, hold on for a minute. My kids at home. I know it's not my job to teach your kids nothing. You
Yeah.
teach your kids what you need to teach them. I'm gonna make sure that whatever you teach them, my kids don't get it because I'm gonna teach my own kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I hate that when people say you're responsible. Nah, because my kids they don't even listen to it. So you know,
You know what? That's what I always hated. Like going back to you know, when NWA came out, and I believe they were the ones that they were responsible for having that parental advisory fucking tag on the albums. And it's like, you know, you look at video games or movies or this, that, oh, it influences people to do this, this, and this. It's like, nah, if you raise your kids right, they're not gonna go get on some bullshit. Period.
mhm,
And the easy way to escape your poor parenting is to blame other people.
exactly,
And,
exactly,
you know, like I grew up listening to fucking Mobb Deep, Naughty by Nature, you know, DMX. I didn't go get into any fucking street shit.
right,
I made
right,
my own choices to stay away from it because if anything, the music taught me it's not really the life you want to live.
right,
These people are
right.
telling stories of the life that they were born into. But if you talk to any of them, they don't want to be where they are.
No, no, no. And I'm happy to be alive to this day still. You
Yep.
know, because it's not a joke and it's not a game and it's not I don't know, man. I feel like some rappers do like put on a persona and try to, do be a certain way. But I feel like you get your best music when you just be yourself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can relate to you better because I'm from them streets and I know off the bat, I know what you all about when I listen to your music. I know exactly what you all about off the top. Been in jail too many times. So I know, hey, bro, it's nothing to brag about. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I don't see why people think it is. And like I said, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling some stories and I'm bringing them into real life, and that's it. There's nothing sweet about nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm just glad to be able to be here to do that.
I think that people that live in the world of excuses play the blame game. And
Yeah,
they might look at somebody like yourself as like, oh, you're glorifying the street life, or but again, that's your story, like, and you're here to tell your story. And who are you to be censored from your story because this one or this one might be offended by it?
right, right. That's a fact, man. I just think it's important to, you know, let people, because if you listen to my music and then when you meet me, you might think in your mind, like, damn, this ain't the same guy that I was listening to. You know what I mean? Because the energy
Yeah,
is going to be different. I'm not in the studio being Lefty Pachino. I don't walk around, being Lefty Pachino. Lefty Pachino didn't get me to where I am right now.
yeah.
It's a rap name that I use to separate the two people, what I was, you know what I'm saying, and what I am. And I think that people get that confused. I mean, you know, I still don't take no shit. But you know yourself, the older you get, the less tolerance you have. So that
Oh
might
yeah.
have something to do with it. Yeah, yeah.
You know
But
what it is? The
I just
older
want to
you
enjoy
get,
life.
yeah, the older you get, the less tolerant you are. But also, the older you get, the more you recognize the fact that you get into a scenario. At the end of the day, I've never crossed paths with this person, and at the end of today, I'm never going to think about them again. So are they worth my time?
Right,
Like I
right.
used to be, you could ask my wife, like I would road rage like crazy.
Mm,
And I was always ready to jump out and do something. And you have to look at it in a sense of, well, at the end of the day, this fucking idiot that just flipped me off or this or that, I'm probably never going to cross paths with them again. So who are they
right.
to me to make me come out of my zone and ruin my future because they decided to act like a fucking idiot just now?
Yeah, man. And it takes a level of maturity to get to that. And you did a good job doing it. You know what I mean? You had to go through it before you could do it, right? You had to go through that before you could realize that, maybe I should calm down. And I did the same thing, man. Running around, I had to do that for me to be the person that I am right now. But I'm gonna still keep making them hardcore bangers because that's my thing, and I'm gonna still keep telling my stories, and I'm gonna still move around and be respectful, and I would hope everybody would respect me the same way, and that's all I could ask for.
I could tell you this, man, from my experience with you, your music is one thing, but you as a human being, you're a very dope individual.
Man, I appreciate that, man, and right back at you, right back at you,
I appreciate it, man.
right back
It's
at you, bro. And
you get what you get. You're a man of your word, and you're appreciative of the chances life has given you, and you're not uh, taking taking them for granted. And that in itself, you know, i- if you look at like hip hop as a whole, right? You make this gangster music, right? But you dig beyond the surface. and look at Lefty Pachino. It's an inspiration because you were somebody that went down a certain road. You reinvented yourself. You, you're still the same person, but you just adapted a bit differently.
Right.
Your story is inspirational because you took the old you, created yourself to a new you, family man, music career, businessman, hard work, not giving up on yourself. That's inspiration. And I think a lot of times
Man,
people don't want to dig beyond the surface to see the story behind the person.
man, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a
And
fact.
and that's the whole goal of, for example, my podcast is, yeah, you're Lefty Pacino the rapper, but who are you as a person,
There you go.
right? Let's
There
get
you
to know the
go.
person behind Lefty Pacino, because in that
That's right.
somebody could listen to it. They could listen to this episode and go, shit, I'm living that same life he was living, but there is a way out. There is more to
Yeah.
life than this. And if your story can inspire one person, that's a success.
Yeah. That's right. We get one
That's,
life.
yeah. And you got to, I think you do inspire people that are willing to sit down and dig beyond the surface. Because we
Man,
live
that's
it,
big.
we live in a time, well, we've always lived in a time of prejudgment, right?
Right.
How many times has somebody walked in somewhere and you looked at them and you go, yeah, I don't like the look of that guy. But then if you sit down and you talk
Yeah.
to the guy, you're like, fuck, man, this is a really fucking good dude.
You find out it's something totally different, man.
Exactly.
Totally
And
different.
you know, you I think, if we as human beings take the time to sit down, and this is why I love doing this shit. I get to sit down and talk to different people from different walks of life and hear their stories
Man.
and get to know the person. And I think that's something we're missing in this world, is that conversation with people where we can hear their story, understand their story, their point of views, why they are the way they are, and where they're at today. Because if we can do that, I think we can all relate to each other.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt to I think a lot of people only want to be seen for what people see them as. You know what I'm saying? I want to be seen for that, but I also want you to know that I'm just a regular guy. I do regular guy things. I came a long way in life, and I'm grateful for still being alive. And I'm having a good time. I'm having a great time. I'm meeting great people, you know, and that's what it's all about. One life, man. That's all we get.
That's what we get that we know of. Who knows what's after this? But at the end of the day, this modern fucking life we're living in, we all have the same ending.
Yeah. And we just got
Yeah.
to make the best of it.
And I think the positivity is gonna come around eventually. I'm really hoping the drama is gonna fucking fade out. And it goes back to the social media. Like you look at fucking, somebody will get fucking gunned down, and
Yeah.
that video will get fucking 20 million views. But here's somebody's, telling their story about how life they went through this and this and they still survived, and you get fucking 10 views.
Yeah. I mean, we built off negativity. Negativity it awakens people for some reason, you know, until it happens to you.
Yep.
Until it happens to you. And then it's not so cool.
One thing I wanted to ask you, where did you come up, how did you come up with your name?
Oh man. So So Lefty was something that everybody called me, right? And that was just, I don't know why, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were in the studio because at first I had multiple different names I wanted to use, but I actually got that part. My favorite movie is Donnie Brasco. Okay.
Okay.
So Al Pacino played Lefty. So I said, we was recording, and one of the guys said, hey man, you should put the Pacino on the end because I had said it in a record. He said Lefty Pacino. And I said, damn, I said, everybody know me for Lefty though. So I couldn't spell it exactly like his name. So I had to spell it a different way. But basically it came from that concept because we were using the skit in the record that day in the studio. And one of the engineers was like, and that was like probably like my second time at the studio, and that was it. You know what I mean? From that second day that I recorded, we came up with Lefty Pachino, and I said, man, that's a good alter ego. And then I said, well, that could be like a brand name, if I get logos made and things of that nature, and also can be a name that doesn't wear out, like little this or little whatever, and then
Yeah.
later on down the line, you're not little no more. So, but yeah, basically came from a concept from that movie, and Lefty was always something that everybody called me anyway in the neighborhood. I had like 5 or 6 nicknames, and I just happened to pick that one. And then we added a kick onto it, and that was it. And it's just locked in. It sounds better, it's different. And when you hear that name, you know exactly who the person is, right?
When you hear the name and you hear the voice, it's the voice. That
Yeah.
voice, when that voice cuts in, man, it's like, oh, shit, there's Lefty.
Yeah. I had no plans of rapping. So, most people already have a rap name. I just had a bunch of nicknames and I had to pick one and figure out how to add something to it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the rapping was not my intentions. My intentions was just to go in, make a few records that I could listen to at home and, just say I did it, and then it just started spawning. And I just took on a train ride and I'm having a good time with it.
Do you think that that's the key to longevity is passion first?
I think so. And I think anything that helps you in your day-to-day psyche, and it helps me. It's like therapy for me. And like I said, I love putting these words together on a record. You know what I mean? I love it. And anything that's bothering me that day, I'll try to format it into some bars, or if it's something I'm thinking about, I just use it as a form of therapy after I had my situation. And it just ended up being something that I was good at. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, let's just keep the train going and see how far we can ride the train.
It's you know, it's been a blessing to cross paths with you, man. You're again, you're a blessing in disguise.
Man, hey man, I appreciate it. You know how I feel about you, man. It's
Yeah,
right, it's reciprocated right back at you, man. But I do want to say something. I'm not one of those super lyrical rapping guys, but I do know how to put a record together. Because everything you hear, I produce all that by myself, me and Vega. So I'm not trying to be like that guy that gives you all of those super lyrical. I'm just the guy that's gonna get straight to the point, and I'm gonna say what I gotta say, but I'm gonna make it sound cool.
you know, I don't think, and I'm not going to say you're not lyrical. I believe you are. But if you have a good sound, a good story, a good beat, it's all you need.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
when I listen to your tracks, you know, I listen, and I look at it, like I've explained to you, like at every podcast episode, I look at it like a movie, right?
right.
So you got to promote it, movie poster style, whatever, this and this and this. And I look at music the same way. As Every track is an individual movie. You have a
Right.
message you're trying to get across, and you have to listen start to finish to see what that message is in that track. And
Wow.
you know, lyricism, you know, anybody could read a dictionary and put words together.
Right. Right.
You know, to to really to really make somebody feel what you're saying. And you know, I messaged you about the last track you came out with. What's the name of it again? Sorry, I got too much whiskey in me now.
I'm headed that route after I do this show. A Shadow of Death.
Shadow of Death. When I told you,
Uh-huh.
it's like the sun shining through after the storm came.
Right.
That's the feeling I got. And if you can generate that feeling to your track, you know, mission accomplished.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree.
There's a difference in lyricism and vivid lyricism. And that's
Gotcha.
something that I go back to, like, for example, Prodigy. That's vivid lyricism. When he raps, you can sit here and listen to the words and you can visualize it in front of your face. And I would relate you in the same way when you rap. If you sit down, listen to the song, it goes in, you generate what you're saying. You can visualize what you're saying. And
Uh, that is big, man, because
you
that's my
know,
goal. Wow.
it's it's something that you know, some people they might focus on, okay, I got to rhyme this with this and this and this and this through the whole track. You're a vivid lyricist, and that in itself is a hard accomplishment. So salute to you
Man,
for
I
accomplishing
appreciate
that
that.
one.
And thank you for noticing that because um I'm trying to like pull you in as much as I can. I'm
Mhm.
trying when you listen to it, especially Shadow of Death. I want you walking down the street with me, you know. Like I said, when Vega made that video, it it could you can't explain nothing better than what he made. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And then you got this beautiful voice singing in the background.
yep.
I wanted people to be walking with me down the street. I wanted you to come in and feel that what I was talking about. And you know, I feel like I was able to get that across, man. So I appreciate you acknowledging that because that was the goal.
Mission
Yeah.
accomplished, man. And you know what? I can't wait to hear the Cigar Talk remix.
Oh,
Um, you got me on edge for that one, man. I'm patiently and patiently waiting for that one. And
I tell you what, I got tech. It just came back, and Tech, the super Latin from Arizona, I believe he might be from Cali or Arizona, but I made a mistake. I let him go first. I should have let him go last because he is. But I like for when I do a feature, I tell everybody. I said, if you don't murder me on my own record, I probably won't ever do a feature with you again. I need you to kill me. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a fan of your work on my record. So I need you to assassinate me on the record. And that's
you
what
know
he
what?
did. And then
It, it's funny you said that. Sorry, no, go ahead, go ahead. I'll elaborate on that after.
no, I'm done. No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I just wanted to get that point out.
You know, I I watch a lot of podcasts. I follow a lot of people, and Illigy said it
Hmm.
best. When I'm on a track with you, my goal is to murder you on your track.
Should be.
And it's funny that
It
you
should
said
be.
that because, like you said, if you don't murder me on my own track, then, you know, that's
Because
dope.
I'm trying on your track. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
trying on your track because it's only going to make my track better.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's called a feature for a reason. It's featuring because you brought a special cadence and style onto your record. It's the feature attraction, you know? So if everybody don't think that way, then I don't know what to tell them. My guy telling me I got to wrap it up. Okay. I guess you're getting ready to close down.
All right, man.
But
Before we cut out, my wife is here. She just wants to say what up to you. She's a
oh
big
man,
fan.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's good to know. Hello, how you doing?
I appreciate you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I see your post. Hey, you got the best guy in the world right there. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I had 1,000 friends like him. We would go take over the world, man.
Oh,
Real. Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
you're just full of,
yeah.
you have our
I
back.
appreciate y'all.
Yes, very,
That's
very
wonderful to know.
yes.
I,
Always. Thank
I
you.
appreciate y'all, man. That's man, I don't know what to say, man. I appreciate that to the utmost. Appreciate all y'all support. And like I said, we kind of got each other's back because we got things and we move in the same direction, and why not just ride the same train together, right?
I think there's always a purpose on everything that we do in life, and God puts us in our paths because we need to accomplish something in this world. When we're hurting so much, well, not us, but other people are hurting so much that we need to spread that love, right? And that's our main goal, is spreading love, and sharing good things is always good. So we do appreciate
Okay.
you very much.
Yeah,
And
I appreciate everybody. Yeah, yeah.
and you know
Thank
what?
you.
That's a perfect way to end it off, man. Lefty, I appreciate you as a human being, as an artist. I appreciate your time. Time is the most expensive currency in the world. You can't get it back, so I appreciate you spending your time with us right now. And whatever you need, man, we got you.
Have fun
Hey,
tonight.
man, I appreciate you. All right, same to you. I appreciate you, man. And like I said, we're gonna be ping ponging, and when we're gonna get some things in motion, and when I come to Toronto, now I got somewhere to go. You know what I mean? I got somebody to come and see. So
Hey, you come to Toronto, man. You don't got to worry about staying anywhere, man. You got open doors here, man.
you see what I mean? And that's the connections. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a blessing, man. That's love, man. I appreciate y'all so much for this day. And
Thank you.
hey, man, good luck with this show, man. Hey, look, I know you're gonna be interviewing a lot of people, man. I already know it.
Hey, we
Already know
got
it.
we got AO Biggs coming. We're working with AO Biggs. We're gonna do something soon. I just got to get some mafias and shit for him.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, man.
But it's working out for all of us, so that's good.
That's perfect, man. Yeah, I know
As much,
Biggs is gonna blow it up. Like I said, we
go
couldn't
ahead.
mention Toronto without talking. I said I couldn't mention Toronto without bringing him Biggs up, because like I said, he's been guiding me the whole time and giving me advice, and no matter how big he gets, he always will pick up the phone, or he'll always let me talk. You know what I mean? So that's one of
You,
my guys, bro.
you know what? That's a genuine human being right there.
Mm.
And
Yeah, yeah,
you got this connection with Toronto. So you know
yeah.
what, man? Anytime
Yep.
you come up here, fucking doors are open. You don't got to
That's
worry about
beautiful.
shit. And you know what? Enjoy the rest of your night.
Too.
Oh shit.
Same to you, man. No doubt, man. We'll chop soon, brother.
All right, man.
Take care.
Peace.
All right.
Bye.
Blessings, y'all. All right.
I want to send a special shout out, Cigar Talk Toronto. Special shout out to Croatian Mafia Cigars. It's for the gangster in you, nigga. It's for the gangsters. DJ Mikey G. Put some cut on that dope. Lefty Pachino. Take it personal. Take it personal. Click, clack the beam. Take it personal. I spit the caffeine. Take it personal. Feel what I mean? The 30R6 to M16s. We got them bugging. I'm your favorite uncle. I'm the alcoholic street niggas with the guns and the duffel. I'm the one that used to smoke the cigar and whip the truffle. The one that Granny said always started trouble. The backcourt shot a triple-double. Coach kicked me out the gym cause the gun was bigger than the muscle. Now let me introduce you to the hustle. can sniff the residue above my knuckles. The epitome of street scuffle. I hit him hard with the banger, I was trying to make the belt buckle. I hit the corner and I make it bubble. What's in the pocket of my goose will make your feathers ruffle. I don't trust you, make the gauge bust you. We keep the circle tight, you just another square if we don't discuss you. Take it personal, click clack the beam. Take it personal, I spit the caffeine. Take it personal, feel what I mean. The 30R6 to M16s, we gotta plug in. Take it personal, click clack the beam. Take it personal, I spit the caffeine. Take it personal, feel what I mean. The 30R6 to M16s, we gotta get my pillage through your village. Leave my spillage on your mistress. Attacking everything, you go on the hit list. Burn the evidence, witness. Told the lawyer eat the case with the biscuit. Looked the judge in the face and told him stick it. Smacked the plaintiff in the face and told him fix it. Tap the Henny on the bottom, then we lift it. Fully equipped, the blue beamer and it's kitted. Bend the corner 730, then we hit him. The bars leave a bad taste, so I spit them. Machete 50-50 sharp, so I split them. The black expedition put me in position. Focus on the mission, full tunnel vision. Every verse calculated, spoken with conviction. My condition is to grind every day by tradition. Built it from the dirt, self-made composition. Competition for you in every breath is ammunition. Take it personal, click clack the beam. Take it personal, I spit the caffeine. Take it personal, feel what I mean. The 30R6 to M16s, we gotta plug in. Take it personal, click clack the beam. Take it personal, I spit